Morning everyone, it's Monday 13th of November. We're stood here in our property on Ellen Street, which we're about to renovate. The place is a bit of a mess. It's got rising damp, some various issues which we're all going to put right. So we decided to test our Blueproof models, which we've been going on about for some time, and fitting in different properties. There's a lot of doubt from different people as to whether they actually work. This is the thing, I've not seen it before. It's got a standard VSP pipe fitting on the end, which just screws onto most rads. Just some of the older ones, they don't work. We've been raving on about them, so we want to really make sure that they work before we kind of fit any more. And we think this would be a great property to test them in. So come with me, we're going to go upstairs. Where the boiler is. And we're keen to have the tests as accurate as possible because we're always sceptical on the tests that the manufacturers do, because you never really know whether they're staged or how realistic they are. So what we've got here is a boiler, which is, if we just put the camera in front, it's charged to 1.1 bar, which is probably about what most systems work at, perhaps even slightly higher sometimes. I tend to set ours at 1 bar. So we're going to go downstairs and we're going to put a blowtorch. We're going to cover up. We're going to put some PPE on. Throw some keys at the cameraman. We're going to put some PPE on to make sure we're not breathing in the atomised water, because that's one of the ways that Legionella spreads. And we're going to put a blowtorch onto one of them, simulate a fire, and just see how the device operates. So come on, it's probably going to be a bit of a long film with not very much happening. But go on, give me my keys back there, situated on. Hopefully we've got some gas. We'll stand there. If the cameraman can come in closer, and obviously because we want to see the surface of the thing reacting to the heat, okay? Okay, so it's been activating for probably 3 minutes now, and there is actually still a constant stream coming, maybe 2 meters. I suspect the device, if indeed it is of any use, is probably of most use in a corner, maybe probably pointing towards a TV or a bed, or wherever any kind of problem is most likely to develop. It does give quite a constant output of water, mind, as the manufacturers have said. Whether or not the volume is enough to achieve what they say it achieves, I don't know, but it certainly seems to be quite consistent and long stream coming out. And because of the angle I had the heat on, we've actually managed to puncture it in 4 different places. 1, 2, yeah, you can see there's 4 distinct streams there coming out. Yeah, we're still getting a constant stream. Okay, it's been running for a good 5-6 minutes now, and we're still getting water at about, where's that one? So about waist height and a good metre away. This one here, okay, is somewhere about knee height of me, and we're probably about 2 metres away. still a metre away. I'd say that's been running, been discharging for probably 8 minutes. With quite a lot of water. System in this house has got 1, 2, 3, 4. There's 5 rads in this house. It's quite a small property. It's a 2 up, 2 down terrace property. So there's 3 rads downstairs, 1 in the wet room, bathroom downstairs, 1 in the kitchen, 1 in the living room, and then there's 2 bedrooms upstairs, and obviously there's a rad in each of those. So it's probably a fairly standard system. I would say that we've had water coming out of this now for, I would have to go back and check the tape actually, the footage, because I didn't need to check the point at which it started flowing. But I'm going to guess that this has been almost 10 minutes of fairly constant flow, and we're still getting water coming out under its own pressure to over a metre away. Now the manufacturers, because the droplets are so small, that gets carried, it almost gets drawn in on the air that the fire's drawing in, and so actually it would cover quite a larger area. Though in itself not powerful, it is consistent. It has been consistent now for a long time. It's got to be 10 minutes to see how long it keeps going for. Probably a bit boring, I know, but just curious to see, unbroken, how long this just continues to discharge for. Right, so that's 4 streams discharging in maybe 12 minutes now. And we're still probably still playing more than a metre away from the rad. Now quite how far those droplets would carry on hot air, I don't know. But it's interesting nonetheless. Okay, it's probably 14 minutes now, and we're still getting a constant. So again, what the manufacturers say is that once this thing's activated, once the device is activated, the droplets of water, because it's kind of misted, gets carried to the heart of the fire. As the fire's drawing oxygen in, it gets carried to the heart of the fire, it turns to steam, and water, when it turns to steam, expands 1,000 times. So it doesn't look like there's vast amounts of water coming out. Apparently, this is enough to suppress a fire. Obviously, we weren't going to set fire to the building. We were just curious to see how long the thing ran for. So if indeed the volume is enough to put the fire out, it would look like the device functions as described. Saying we must be, it's over a quarter of an hour now of a constant stream, and the water's still hitting my hand at kind of probably about midway between knee and waist height, maybe 18 inches off the ground. 18 inches, 2 feet off the ground. It's still hitting with a constant stream and coming out from 4 different directions. It's perhaps not as dramatic as you'd have liked, but that doesn't mean, of course, that the thing doesn't work. And probably this constant output is the benefit of it. I mean, I would suggest, I think as we said before, probably the best position for this would be close to where fires are likely to start, i.e. on the side of the rad in the corner pointing to where the TV is, for example, pointing to where the kids' beds are, where they're likely to leave laptops and things on the bedding which will combust. We're looking here, just where that continues to go. You can see we've got water all the way to the back door there, which is from the spray, so kind of a good 1, 2. It's a good 3 metres away. It's a good 3 metres away from getting the water. I don't really have any experience fighting fires other than staged fires in training environments on burning oil and things like that, so I kind of don't know what volume of water you would normally need to achieve what it is you want to achieve, but so we're still getting a constant stream. That again, we're still well over a metre away. Now the angle we had the torch pointing, we've managed to punch it in 4 different places. I'm going to guess it doesn't really matter because it's all that would happen is we were discharging the volume quicker out of the central heating system, but actually we're now easily, we must be 1/4 of an hour in. More, we're almost nearly 20 minutes in and we're still discharging water. When we first started installing these, we did have a debate as to whether or not they were more appropriate to use to try and guard a safe way out or to actually try and suppress a fire when it first started. I would suggest, from what I'm seeing, probably trying to deal with something when it first starts rather than guarding a way out. I don't think it's going to achieve that, but I can well imagine that it could, for example, slow a burning TV down and things like this. I think what we'll do, we'll let it go for another couple of minutes, and we'll maybe look at wrapping it up because this could continue going forever. Maybe what we'll do, let's go up to the boiler again, just see exactly how much of that pressure we've discharged out of the system. Let's see if that's still leading. Okay, so we're down to 0.4 of a bar of pressure, so we've used about 2/3 of the available pressure in the system, and it's still discharging, so okay, so at 0.4 bar in the system, we're down to, say still, probably just under a metre, something like this in the hand. Okay, so that's been the Foxdog Blueproof test. carried out at the property we're about to renovate in Allen Street. Kind of interested to see, that's Allen Street in Warrington, we're kind of interested to see how one of these systems would respond in a real fire. Obviously don't want to burn anywhere down. Okay, and we're getting about a metre from. Maybe we continue till it runs out. We'll wrap it up there. I'd say it's the final word on this. We're probably 26 minutes or so into the experiment and we're still getting a constant stream of water falling, I'd say still about a metre away. Still about a metre away from the red. Blueproof.